am at work in the trucking industry, talking to you through my headset, and sometimes I think about my exit strategy, because you always have to have an exit strategy in business. But man, it's tough. Here's my problem. I live in Houston, Texas. My current occupation keeps me alive. However, it takes up a lot of my time. I sometimes think about getting education, learning a new skill, taking a pay cut, doing another type of job. But then when I research potential jobs that I would like to do, they all seem like they suck. I seen the statistic that stated that the average American, in order to basically live a decent life, would have to make around $10,000 a month. It was a time last year that I was actually making that kind of money. I was making $2,300 weekly. But I was working 70-hour weeks. After taxes, I would bring home $1,600 to $1,700. And if you're hearing that, that's the road trips they got. I'm on the bridge. So when I was making that kind of money, things was a little better. I saved a lot of it, and I did some good things with that money. I had an injury last year. I tore my Achilles tendon. I had great insurance. I had a surgery. I had disability insurance. I still made a little money while I was injured. I took a break from working. And in February, I returned to work. So February, March, April, May, and June I worked. I took July off, and I went back to work in August. I spent time with my son this summer. August, September, October, now November, I've been working. So you could pretty much say this year was somewhat difficult, because I was like getting back to myself a lot occurred. Some things I won't even talk about in this video. The problem in Houston is that realistically it's not enough jobs for everyone. And once you start living in Houston, there's a market rate for certain jobs. So, let's say you want to make a certain amount per hour. It's a lot of people that's on jobs they think that they can pay you a certain rate because there's always someone else who's going to accept that rate. Well, you don't accept, someone else will. So let's say your rate is $40 an hour. It's someone that's going to underbid you and take that job. Let's say you need $40 to break even. It's someone that's willing to work for $30. Let's say you need $30 to break even. It's someone that's willing to work for $20. Let's say you need $20 to break even. There's some desperate person that's willing to work for $10. And if you're willing to work for $10, there's someone that's willing to work for $7.25. Now this is either true or it is false. So, basically as a young person, it's not as easy as it may seem to live a good life in the United States. A lot of our time is spent just paying bills. A lot of our time is spent just paying bills. And it's so crazy that people will try to convince us that we should work even harder. It's so crazy that people will try to convince us that we're not doing enough. And in this industry, people risk their lives, really in every career in the United States. People risk their lives to make a living. And I would argue that it's not just trucking where people are risking their lives. In nursing, people risk their lives. I've heard of a case the other day that was so scary. A patient was almost infected with an STI doing their job. Could you imagine being infected with something for just while you're doing your job? You get poked by a needle, or a patient is belligerent and something happens. Insane. If you do something wrong on the job, you can go to prison. You can be put in court. You could lose everything just because you made a mistake. But then the jobs overwork you to where you making the mistake is more likely. And then if you succumb to the work culture and you say, you know what, I'm just going to work as many hours as they want me to work. I'm just going to just give my life to it. My life is work. I live to work. I am the perfect android. One day, when you're old or you're sick or you experience a tragedy while at work, you can be replaced. So the work situation is pretty dire. And then there's, like I said, since there's always people that's willing to work for less money, is so many people whom are willing to do whatever job you're not willing to do. And I experienced something where, you know, I've been working hard the last few 2 months, but the last few weeks. So I'm right now I'm tired. I was like, man, I feel tired. I was like, man, I need to take a break. You know, I was like, when I get off duty, I was like I'm taking Monday and Tuesday. Like, I'll be back Wednesday. Like, I'm taking Monday and Tuesday off. So I text the job like, hey man, I won't be able to come in Monday or Tuesday, man. Like, I'm tired, bro. He was like, all right, then try to come tell me about whatever his plans were for the week. I don't care what the plans are for the week. I don't care what load was booked. I'm tired. That's self-preservation. That's a self-need. When it's about self-preservation, you don't give a, just like his self-preservation is booking a load, my self-preservation is, hey bro, I'm tired. It's a wrap. It's over with. Even if I wanted to do the load, I would be putting my life in jeopardy because I won't have enough time to rest. And you can't just get one night of good sleep and think that you're ready to roll a full 70 hours for the week. Even 34-hour reset, which they came up with in trucking, is pushing it. 34 hours is very tight. They say, well, get 34 hours. A lot of times in trucking, I get sleep while on the road. But there's no guarantee that every week I'll be able to get good sleep while on the road, because some weeks I have to push it. I might only get about 8 hours of sleep. But then I'm pulling 12 or 14-hour days. Then I looked up things in Houston. Crime, violence, homelessness, people can't even make enough money to take care of themselves. When I drive through the streets of Houston, I see so many people struggling. I'm like, yeah, I might as well just go back to work. Running that low Monday don't seem too bad now, huh? So then the boss texts me like, man, I wish you would have gave me at least 3 days in advance. You know, I already had something planned for you. This load was meant to be taken from Minnesota to Houston and delivered for 7 a.m. Monday. It's Saturday now. So that means I would get to rest basically Sunday. And I was like, man, like, I don't think I'm going to even be able to really do it, to take it there. So, like, then he messaged me and was like, hey, they rescheduled the load for for Monday, but at 5 p.m. So essentially what he's doing is like, hey, maybe if he gets a little bit of sleep, you know, from Sunday, a little bit of sleep Monday, he'll be able to roll for Monday. Bro, I'm not rolling Monday. I'm not doing it. I don't care what you're talking about. And it's not, you know, because I need to rest. And I got other stuff I want to do. And I realized, I'm like, man, you got to really put your foot down and mean it. Like, they got people that are really trying to see where your head is. And I realized, I'm like, bro, while the job is about money, everything isn't about money. Sometimes I got to just rest. And I'm thinking to myself, how could I even do the job if I'm exhausted? Even if I took the route, you're going to be fussing at me because you're going to say, why are you late? Even if I took the route, you're going to be complaining. Hey, why didn't you get here in time? Because I'm tired. You're not going to want to hear that next week. So it's probably best I just take the days off. So that's the modern day dilemma. And with these other jobs, it's the same thing. Unruly supervisors, jobs not paying enough, cost of living through the roof. When you are home or get to enjoy yourself, like me, I don't smoke any marijuana. I don't even drink alcohol. And it's like, why would I go drink alcohol when that would interrupt my sleep pattern? Why would I go smoke weed when I could be drug tested and lose my job? You know? And it's like, it's not that I don't like alcohol. It's not that I wouldn't like to smoke a joint. But it's like the responsible thing, I got stuff to do. I got stuff I'm holding down. So it's like, nah, I'm not about to go hit the weed. Nah, I'm good. I ain't about to go to the store and buy no drink. I probably hit the gym, probably work on some stuff, creative projects. But I'm like, man, I find that a person can only work hard for a certain amount of time. People say go hard, give it 100. I agree with that, but you can't give it 100 every single day. A cheetah sprints very fast for a few seconds. Sometimes we have to be like the cheetah. Go really hard, really fast. You know, give it 100 for 24 hours. Give it 100 for a week. Maybe even try to give it all you got for a month. But if you try to give 100% effort, pushing yourself past your limits, you're going to run out of gas. Even a car has to be refueled, right? You can't just give things 100 all the time. And mentally, I feel like, yeah, I could go do that. Mentally, it's like, man, I know I could do it. I did this 100 times. But physically, I know my body, and I'm like, nah, physically, I gotta take a break. I've been rolling like the last 6 weeks straight. it's time to take a break. So that's been my video. I guess the message of this video is know yourself, know your worth. Whatever you do, whatever hustle you pick, hustle hard, work hard, do your very best, but set boundaries. And I don't care if it's your boss, if it's this or if it's that, set boundaries. Meanwhile, I'm also looking for other jobs still. I'm looking for new opportunities. And I'm like, why would I take a job so serious that wouldn't even want me to take a break? These companies only care about their bottom line. And that's facts. But you have to care about yourself. You have to put yourself in a position. The company's using you. You have to use the company. And once I'm in the clear, hopefully by the end of this year, I'll be starting a new job. You know, a local job. I had a local job before I started this one. They wasn't paying enough. I wasn't making enough to be like doing what I was doing. I was working at the ports. And I'm like, man, I'm waking up every morning early. And I'm working. But I feel like it's not enough. A lot of these jobs are designed to have you just like that. A lot of these jobs are designed to have you in a situation where you're working to be paycheck to paycheck. My ultimate goal, guys, is to get to where I need to be. But I don't think that I could just work 70-hour weeks when like consistently like this. I think the max I like to work is about 40, 50 hours.